All right, guys, we're going to be playing with some holiday designs. Let's get started making some cards. Hello and welcome to Deliberately Creative. I'm Stephanie and I am here with a fun holiday card making time in about 20 minutes. I have some designs that I've been playing with, and I might use some of these, or I might do something else. This one right here was inspired by Lindsay the Frugal Crafter. I was watching her doing some quick watercolor card stuff yesterday. I love that. And mine looks totally different than hers. So if you're interested in the full lesson on what she did to make these types of things, make sure and check out Lindsay. I am all set here with a whole bunch of supplies. So I just have a handful of watercolor brushes, some metallic pens, some bleed-proof white in case I want some snow. So I have a cheap fan palette of paint right here. This has got 42 colors. It's more colors than I need. All of my samples were painted with this palette. So nice bright colors. Look at that. Not sponsored by anybody. This was in an Arteza hardback watercolor sketchbook. Pretty cool. And these are the Arteza watercolor cards. They're already pre-folded. They're 140 pound, cold press, and acid-free watercolor. I am really excited. I have the cards are just taped with plain old, this is a drafting type masking tape, so it's a little bit less tacky. It holds well, but it releases from the paper without tearing it. And I'm taped down to some pieces of this Coroplast plastic corrugated board that you can buy at the hardware store in the area where you would get your garage sale or yard sale signs. They tend to have this plastic board stuff. Now, I have to remember which edge is the folded edge. So this is my folded edge. If you've already taped it down and you didn't mark it, you can feel the rolled folded edge. And this is the cut edge. So I know that my folded edge is on my left. And I am going to get started. I think I am going to do the candle and pine cone. This is my own design. So I'm just going to set that there and grab a brush. I have a whole handful of brushes. Number 8 round Faux Squirrel by Zen Art. All right, so I'm taking this yellow ochre color and I'm going to go in and start making my pine cone. This pine cone is really quick. So, and I'm going to have the candle here, the pine cone here. I know it's only 2 things, but I'll put some background stuff in. We're going to do just one little strike. Then we're going to just make little dabs, kind of going around in almost like a Christmas tree. Like that. And then I might come back up and put a few of them sticking out a little bit funny. We're going to go in right away with some dark. They can be messy. They don't have to be, perfect. I'm going to grab just whatever this dark is. Well, let's see what it is. It might not be dark enough. We might do 3 layers of dark. This looks kind of like a burnt sienna type color. And I do have a palette swatch. So I have a palette swatch. These colors have started to fade. So, this isn't your artwork that's going to last for a bazillion years with this paint. But if you grabbed your Daniel Smith or M. Graham or any of those others, now I'm just going in and making these little dabs. I'm not even really paying attention to what I had there, but I am leaving some light. Look at that. We have a pine cone. I want one more color and I want it to be a little bit darker. And I think this one might be a little bit more red, but it's a little bit more dark. And I want to just take a little bit more dark over to the left side since the candle is on the right. There. We have pine cone. And if I did this with greens, which I probably will, and I will make a Christmas tree with it. Now I want to go ahead and put in my candle. And this time I'm going to put the candle in before I put the greenery. And I'm thinking that this candle is going to be in the kind of pinky red. Just a piece of watercolor paper so we can test. Ooh, yeah. Nice Christmas red candle. Have a piece of paper that you can test your colors on to make sure that it's a color that you want. Now my candle, I'm taking my brush kind of on its side, and I'm going to say I want the flame to end up here. I want the top of the candle to be above, kind of in the top third. So I'm going to go like this. Look at that. Two stripes down. And I did it, purposefully did it light. Look at that. Now you can blend it in towards the middle. And you've got a pretty candle. I'm going to put a little bit of one of these yellows, and I think I like this yellow. Get it wet. Yep, I like that yellow. I'm going to put a soft circle yellow glow right up here. I'm leaving a spot in the middle. We're going to start putting in some of the greenery. There's a lot of greens on this palette. So I'm going to just get some of these greens wet. I really like this kind of green gold color that's on here. My greens are really dirty, and that's because I do this. I go from here and I go like that. So my greens get all mixed up, and that's okay. I'm still using that number 8, and I'm going to go right up on the toe of the brush, and I'm going to flick out. Look at that, just flicking out some of those pine needles. I'm going to put some of them up. Just flicking out, and this is just one of my colors. I'm going to put a few colors on here. I like it. And you can even take your brush on its side and fill in a little bit of the spaces. This is probably my lightest color. So going in and doing it with the light color first. Oh, this is turning out really well. I really like this kind of green gold color. It's a darker color, but it goes to the light, and it has almost a luminescence to it, like it's lit up. Because it sort of separates to the yellow or gold color. And I like this. This is like those really long needled pines. See? Just put it in there. You can stop whenever you're done, but I want at least one more color. I think I'm going to go really dark. That's almost the same color. Let's see. Which one's up there? Oh, that's kind of a... Ooh, actually, I like that. That little brown with the green. We'll get some of that in there. Ooh, yes. Gives us a little bit more dynamic. And I am working kind of wet into wet. My brush is not super soggy. I like that. Get a little bit of that dark. Might even put a little bit of that dark right on the pine cone. I like that. Take some of that. Oh yeah, there. See, we'll get that dark going on the other side of the pine cone now. And right down here at the bottom of the pine cone. Oh, that's pretty. Ooh, that is pretty. It's like, ooh, yeah, I like that. Now, I want there to be a little bit more something going on here. So I'm going to move my sketchbook. I'm going to grab a bit of that. Actually, I like the greens. So I think I'm going to take a little bit of the green. And we're going to take the brush and we're going to sort of smudge out some of those. Makes it feel like there might be a Christmas tree or something in the background. And I'm doing it with a little bit of directional, a little bit of a directional feel to it, giving us some texture. Making sure we get a little bit on the other side of the candle. I'm not going to worry about that one little drop right there. I think I want a touch of this red. And I'm going to sprinkle it onto that wet green. And let it, oh, yes! This is definitely something to do only if you feel brave. And I'm feeling really brave. All right. I think that is dry enough right there now for me to go and put the wick in. Is pretty much done. I want just a tiny touch more of the yellow, a little bit stronger. Right there. And then I'm going to blur out a little bit of that red that happened to fall in. Like it. I want to soften that up. And we have a card. All done. I'm going to let this sit, and we're going to do the next one. I've got my fold on this side. Yes. This time, I'm going to put in a blue background. So I'm going to grab my big brush. This is a big chunky brush. Big chunky brush. It's a 1-inch flat wash. And I'm going to get the whole background wet. This is going to be a fast card. So, whole background wet. I'm going to grab, still using that same brush. I'm going to put some blue and a bit of this. Magenta or rose type of color. Ooh, pretty. I think I'm going to grab some of that yellow. And then I want a darker blue. Let's see if that's... Which one's my darker blue? Ah, I just mixed up all my blue. That. All the way off the edge. Go all the way off. And I do want to get that darker. I want it darker, darker, darker. Maybe some purple. Nope, that purple's not very dark. Now that's darker. And maybe mix my phthalo type blue with my ultramarine blue. All right. I'm tapping it to kind of get it all to pull up. Look at that. Now you've got this pulling up. Look at that. We are going to dry this really quick. I'm just using a heat tool. You can use anything you have, hair dryer, or just let it dry. Just let it dry naturally. All right, my brush is cleaned. I'm going to scoop some of this paint off of that and put it on, I guess I'll just put it on the palette or the board right here. This is the Dr. P.H. Martin's. Okay, this is the Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. I like it for making snow. I like it for anything pretty much, but we're going to put some snow or stars on here. Whichever way you want to say it is. There it is. And I'm going to dry it real quick. So we're going to do a pine cone Christmas tree where we take a light color, just like the pine cone, and we're going to go put the top, and then we're going to come down and just make these little pine cone branches. Look at that. Going to take it all the way down to the bottom and off the edge. Magical Christmas tree. I don't think I need to put any lights on this because there's enough going on in the out there in the world there. See, we're just doing those little strokes. We're leaving colors showing through. We're not filling everything in. It's giving it a lovely glow. So first I had kind of a sap green, then I picked up this green gold kind of color. And then I'm going to take this green that's at the bottom with a little bit of that brown because we liked how that worked. And I've worked all wet into wet. I don't think I'm going to put any more on there until I have dried it. So we're going to dry this real quick. This card uses a lot of drying. All right, so now I do want to put a little bit of light into this tree. And I think I'm going to just take some of that green gold and that white that was on my palette. And I'm going to put just a few little marks of it here and there on this one side, maybe a little bit coming over, but I'm letting it sort of start to blur out, not be as strong. Look at that. We've got this lovely little tree. Oh, this is a pretty card. I'm excited to send this. Quick and easy. And I am not doing anything else to this. I'm going to dry it. And then we're going to pull the tape off. And I've got 2 cards done in about 20 minutes. And we're going to pull that tape off. It's always so pretty when you pull the tape off, because it's like the card just turns into this finished piece of art. Look at that. And now we'll pull this one. Let's see, that way. I love the effects here on this because it turned into these beautiful, beautiful little like blooms happened. Sort of retro, sort of modern. Look at that. We've got 2 cards. And I promised you a pine cone Christmas tree after we did that pine cone. Look at those. Aren't they beautiful? I'm really excited. See? Cards. Ready to go. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video with your friends, and make some cards and send them out. Share the joy, share your creativity, and remember to go out and do something creative. Take care of yourself so you can take care of those around you. I want to see you back here again really soon. Bye-bye.